All right, good Tuesday evening, everyone. I'm Fox 19 now, First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart. The roller doors transition there to a golden hour here in Cincinnati. Really nice Tuesday. Another hot one outside. Not as hot as what we saw outside yesterday. In fact, temperatures are running about 5 degrees cooler in a few spots just because of that little bit of cloud cover we have outside. That is all coming from a system in the mid-Atlantic. It will not bring us any rainfall, though. We're going to have to wait until the second half of the weekend ahead to get any kind of meaningful precipitation in here. In the meantime, as expected, I told you about this last night. We had an air quality alert yesterday for Ripley, Switzerland, and Ohio counties in Indiana. That is now spread to much of the tri-state. In fact, let me make this full screen so it's a little bit easier to see. Dark gray shaded areas there on the map. Those are the areas that now have an air quality alert. So it's mostly the northwestern, half or so, a little bit better than half of the tri-state that has an air quality alert right now, including all of the metro areas. If you are sensitive to such things, please limit your outdoor activity, and you'd be wise to keep your windows closed. Use air conditioning instead, if that's a possibility, so you don't get that nasty air inside, and try to avoid the strenuous exercise outdoors. I know that's easier said than done for the outdoor plans, and don't forget, check on those neighbors too if you have anybody that is in one of those vulnerable groups when it comes to these breathing issues brought about by poor air quality. This is going to get worse, just like the drought-like conditions before it gets better. Our next chance of rainfall, at least next best chance, will be on Sunday, and it looks like the not-so-bad news, Brad, department, that we could see better rain chances next week as we work our way into the first few days of fall. This next storm system could stall out. It could get cut off from that upper air circulation. What that means is that it'll stall out over the Great Lakes and give us, kind of just pinwheel around, right? Giving us those repeated chances for rain. The last time the models were trying to show this with the storm system last week, it didn't happen. It stayed connected to the jet stream. It got pushed away very quickly. We just saw very minimal rainfall late Friday into Saturday last week. So we're hoping that maybe this time it comes to fruition. We'll see, because we need some help out there. Burn bans, again, this is not a change from yesterday, but I can't remember if I made this in time for the stream yesterday. But burn bans are up for both communities in Indiana and Kentucky. Nothing in Ohio. I did double check with the state fire marshal's office just to make sure. They did not have a website to check, so I checked with straight from the source. No burn bans in Ohio just yet. Just note that Ohio typically, at least the last couple of years, has had, during their wildfire season in the fall, they do put up typically almost a statewide ban through October and November on outdoor burning, but we're not there yet. We still have half a month of September to get through. So in Indiana, it's Union, Franklin, Dearborn, and Switzerland counties. Down in Kentucky, it's Bracken, Mason, Robertson. What I will tell you is that area-wide, even though those are the only communities so far, the only counties that have enacted burn bans, it's been dry everywhere. I mean, we are bone dry for the last 30 days or so. Let's talk about something a little different. Here's your weather number of the day. This is minus 2 minutes and 31 seconds. That is how much daylight we're losing every day. You probably realize that it's getting darker and darker. I mean, we're in golden hour already. Remember, it used to be like high noon out there when I started this stream. It feels like a month ago. We're losing 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes. That is our fastest rate of daylight loss in the calendar year, and runs from today through October 2nd, where we're going to lose 2 minutes and 31 seconds per day. After that, the rate will slow down a little bit, but we'll still end up losing daylight all the way through the winter solstice later on in December. Speaking of December, another little fun number today. I almost put it in there, but I figured since I talked about winter not too long ago, earlier this week, we are 100 days away from Christmas, folks. That is how fast this year is coming to an end. Let's see. Abby chiming in saying it's been so hot, it's been hard to catch my breath. Yeah, so also the other issue with the air out there right now, and it's not so much an issue as it's kind of works in our favor. There's some pros and cons to everything, right? The dry stretch, it's been nasty. We need, like I said, drought has been settling in. The trees are getting stressed, if not going into shock in a few spots and dropping all the leaves. But this low humidity, it does not help with the drought at all, right? It exacerbates those issues. It makes it worse a lot faster, especially these above normal temperatures and the low humidity. However, it's comfortable outside. I mean, if the evening plans have been perfect, I mean, it's been great patio weather. We couldn't catch a break in August. I was really starting to feel pretty bad for some of the local restaurants trying to get people with the outdoor reservations out there and whatnot. It's been really, really nice for them. Other aspects, and it's been really great for the car wash industry, I'll tell you that. There was a huge line. Gotten out there finally for the first time, I think, in 3 months and got a car wash today. I didn't know if they even saw me driving with how nasty the car was. Either way, nice sunset shaping up, too. We have some of those high, thin clouds still sitting in place again. I'll show you where that storm system is off the mid-Atlantic. But really nice looking back over at Great American Ballpark. They are back in town Friday. Oh, sorry, they're back in town Thursday. They have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. It's 4 games with the Cubs beginning on Thursday. Those are also the same exact days that Oktoberfest Cincinnati begins. And it's going to be toasty. Hot, but not humid. And I'll talk more about that, too, and why that may be an issue outside. 83 degrees out there, outside of the whole drought and everything else. 83, a little bit of a breeze out there, making it feel like 81. Off to the east, thicker clouds from that storm, keeping things a little cooler, 10 degrees cooler in Athens. And what we're seeing, a little bit warmer off of the west where they haven't seen much cloud cover through the day. And that's just what these high, thin clouds have been able to do. This storm system, it is not a tropical system. It is not a tropical storm. But it has pretty much all the same qualities as a tropical storm. It's been packing some tropical storm force winds along the mid-Atlantic there. Megalopolis heading up towards Washington, D.C., so between Norfolk and New York City, basically. It's been kind of messy out there. They've seen a ton of rainfall, coastal erosion, flooding issues. And guess how much rainfall that we're going to see? Absolutely nothing. It will not make its way in. High pressure, again, acting like the brick wall. And it's just kind of sandwiched here in the middle. I mean, we're just not seeing anything other than the clouds. It helped to keep us down temperature-wise, just a few degrees out there. That's it. High, thin clouds rolling in, making for a good sunset tonight. Tomorrow morning, we end up bottoming out in the outskirts of town here, mid to upper 50s, low 60s, a little bit closer to the urban center. A little urban heat island there, keeping us about 63, but officially we should drop, in some spots down into the low to mid 50s before rebounding very quickly. Tomorrow we start to see that cloud cover erode again, and that will get us back up to about 87 degrees. Normal high temperature for this time of the year is 79, so almost 10 degrees above normal. High heat, low humidity. This presents another issue. Back in August when we had all that humidity outside, I mean, every time I walked outside I felt like I was in South Florida. I would just instantly start to sweat, right? And then when you're seeing that, you're like, wow, I'm really sweaty. I should probably, the mind goes to, I should probably get something to drink here to keep up with all the moisture, all the sweat you're losing. When you have low humidity like this, the sweat works, right? It helps to keep you a little bit cooler. It feels comfortable. It's a drier heat. It feels comfortable because your sweat is evaporating quickly and it's working. But then you don't think, hey, maybe I'm losing a lot of moisture here because you don't feel it, right? It's not soaking you through your shirt, or in this case, maybe your lederhosen later this week. So in this case, just remember, stay hydrated outside the next couple of days because it is going to be hot at Oktoberfest Cincinnati. The humidity, you're really not going to feel it until Sunday. The first 3 days of Oktoberfest Cincinnati are going to be just about perfect outside. I mean, it's a little warm. It's a little warm for the leather, but not a bad stretch. I mean, we're seeing mix of sun and clouds, and it's low humidity heat. Just make sure to drink plenty of water out there on top of the German beverages, right? Clouds do start to roll in late Saturday. There's a slimmest of chances up north, I think just north of our area, more so towards the Dayton area, that we could see some showers out there on Friday. But most of us are dry until those storms roll in on Sunday. And even with this, if you do have plans outside for Oktoberfest Sunday, it's mostly going to be late afternoon and evening. That's what the timing looks like right now. Probably by the time it's already wrapped up and you're heading home. Not too fun for the people that are tearing things down, but spotty storms out there Sunday night, and that'll cool us off just a little bit. But otherwise, pretty good. Let's see, we have a couple other comments. Thank you, Montgomery. JD asking what the weather is going to be like for Canton, Ohio tomorrow morning. Mid-50s, low to mid-50s out there with just a few clouds. Not bad, JD. Hopefully you are enjoying the weather last couple of days. Here is something cool. Try to mix it up a little bit because who wants to sit here and talk about nothing for 10 minutes? It is not going to rain today. It's not going to rain tomorrow. It's going to be the same temperature. Here's something cool, and it just so happens this time's out for while we're don't have a lot of weather to talk about. It's always good when you don't have the weather, storms, clouds, because you can always see cool things up in the sky if you just look up. And this is something cool. It might be one of our coolest celestial events this year. I I think it could be pretty cool, right? I don't know. I also get excited over nerdy things like this. So there's going to be something cool to check out before. This is for the early birds. So this is going to probably be painful for me early Friday morning to try to wake up this early. But sometime between about 5:30, 6:30 generally, right? As early as 5:20, you'll be able to check this out. And as late as maybe 6:50, but the chances are going to get lower the later you get in the day because the sun will be getting a little higher. And it'll start to wash out Venus and Regulus. But here's something to check out early Friday morning before sunrise, right? Low on the horizon, look off to the east, same place the sun's coming up. You will see a very little crescent moon, just barely, just a sliver of it, right? You'll see Venus. It'll be the bright star, and this is going to be very, very close. I mean, they're going to be right on top of each other. This, might not even be, this is artist interpretation as I put this together. They might be even closer together than this. So something really cool to see. And we're not expecting much in the way of cloud cover Friday morning, so that's good news. Venus and then Regulus. Regulus is a star. It's the brightest star in Leo, if I'm not mistaken. So you'll be able to check that out. So it's going to be 3 things in a row, all together. This is what we call kind of a conjunction, if you want to be a super nerd about it. Or you can just say they're close together. The moon, Venus, and Regulus, I think it'll look really cool on the horizon. So we always talk about how there's always going to be like the moon conjuncting with some other planet, right, or a star, and it looks cool. Now you have 3. And my favorite number is 3. Well, really 33, but divided by 11. Check that out. That'll be early Friday morning. Let's talk about weather again. No other questions. What's the weather for Canton, Ohio? I just told you, JD, it's going to be nice and crisp outside tomorrow morning. Nice, cool mid-50s in most spots, and we're warming back up tomorrow to 87 degrees, and it looks very much the same through about Saturday. We're not going to have much in the way of bad weather up that way. They could see a shower there on Friday. That's the next chance, maybe. But other than that, they're kind of similar to here. It's going to be very similar forecast. Here it is on the weather timeline. And you can see, again, just a mix of sun and clouds for much of the Ohio Valley through the day tomorrow, through the day Thursday. And then Friday, there's that slim chance. There's a little weak cold front that's going to try to dive on in off of Lake Erie by Friday. But most of the rain from that is going to stay up to the north along the I-70 corridor. Working our way into Saturday, clouds thicken. High pressure recedes a bit there off to the northeast. We'll see the clouds thickening. These are mostly going to be the high, thin clouds, though, for most of the day, so it's just going to filter the sunshine and help cool us off. Instead of the 89 on Thursday, we're back to a nice, cool 87 for the first half of the weekend. Still pretty sweaty down there at Oktoberfest, but not bad. That low does eventually start to slide back in as early as Sunday around, late morning, early afternoon. We could see a few showers out and about. But I do think the better rain and storm opportunities come in about 12 hours later, late Sunday night. So, again, you're probably done with Oktoberfest at that point. Most of your plans anyway outside, and that is when we'll see that next good chance of rain. Now, as I told you at the start, this storm system could stall out. It could become what we call a cutoff low. Cutoff low, weatherman's woe. Reason why, they're really hard to forecast. Not just really hard to forecast, but a lot of times they can really just mess up your whole forecast in general. Right now, I have temperatures next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, low 80s. I don't have any temperatures the next 10 days in the forecast below the 80-degree mark. If this continues to show that it's going to stall out and just kind of pinwheel itself across the Great Lakes and give us rain chance after rain chance, there is a good chance that we do see more fall-like temperatures next week. But I'm not there just yet. I'm not sold. We'll see, because I got burnt on this one before with last week's system, so we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, it does look like this system is going to try to separate itself from the main flow and just kind of sit here for a few days. And if it does, it would give us a rain chances Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a slim chance Thursday and Friday of next week. Almost a full week of rain opportunities, and boy, do we need it. I know nobody wants to see a full week of rain and gloom and cooler temperatures, but hey, we have not seen much rain at all this month. So we'll take it. Aaron Ashley pointed out it wasn't as dry as even last September, but it's been pretty dry. On top of that, it's been pretty hot. So our drought is worsening. We'll see that update coming in on Thursday with the drought monitor, and this could really help with that situation. Here's the weekend forecast. Saturday, again, cloudy late, no big issues out there. We do tack on in a few spots a quarter-inch of rain. That's mostly late Sunday evening. Some areas aren't going to get rain at all. So it's kind of feast or famine on Sunday. If that system stalls out in the next week, Here's what could happen in the rainfall total department. Some areas could see over an inch of rain. So we would really need that. And the good news about that, too, it's not like an inch of rain in a 1 hour span. Because what happens when the ground gets dry like this, it almost turns into concrete. And if you have a heavy rainfall event, instead of having time, if you see a big dump of rain in just, a 1 hour span, all that rain washes off. It all goes to runoff, right? It doesn't have time to absorb, so the ground acts like concrete. You don't see any absorption. Everything runs off. In this case, it would be more of a steady rainfall day after day after day. There would be a chance then for the ground to soften up a bit and then start to absorb more of this rainfall, and that would make things a little bit more beneficial. Will it kill a drought? No. But it would trend us in the right direction, a better direction than where we've been. So something to keep an eye on. Don't forget, you can always watch us and catch our videos and our forecasts on the First Alert weather app. This is a free app that we give you, and it's free in the App Store. It's free on your mobile devices, and it's good because we put the forecast in there several times a day. We have at times, depending on the day, sometimes 4 or 5 people overlapping shifts. So you'll get an update from each of us. And I'll tell you, all my teammates are great at forecasting, and they will put it in the app. Right? Other apps they just use. I'm sure if you have an iPhone, you've looked at the weather app before and you said it's raining outside. How does it say it's sunny? It's because those are not good apps. They don't have a human on the other end of them. So in this case, not saying we're perfect, but we're better most of the time. And you can get hourly forecast, you get daily forecast, you can get a radar, but it's not just the radar. You can also check the temperatures on there. You're trying to look around to see where maybe it's a little bit cooler outside. A lot of fun features on this app. And plus, one of my favorites is during the summer months, or whenever we actually have storms, which we haven't had in a while, right? That's been a boring aspect of this app for me for the last couple of months. But when we do have storms, you will get lightning notifications if lightning is in the area. You might not even be hearing the rumbles of thunder or seeing the flashes, right? But it will tell you when the lightning is in your area. So if you're out there at the pool and trying to enjoy your day, you'll get a little heads up that maybe some storms are starting to fire up. You should be a little bit more cautious. So that's a great feature of the app too. All right, Jeff here asking. Jeff, how dare you? Jeff is asking if. Well, he started off with a fine question. It was, are any severe storms? No, not expecting any severe weather from this. We could see some rumbles of thunder, but it's mostly garden variety stuff. And then he pivoted straight to winter. So Jeff is permanently banned from the chat from here on out. No winter weather either in the forecast. We'll be lucky if next week we can drop into the 70s. I did mention, I don't know if Jeff you were watching at the beginning, but today is 100 days officially, 100 days until Christmas. So it'll be here soon, I'll tell you that. It'll be a quick turnaround probably, especially after we're enjoying our second summer, but no wintry weather in the forecast the next couple of days. Yes, they are crap apps. I will tell you that. They're not good, and that's what ruins the weather app, for a lot of people, I think, is that they think they're going to be like their other weather apps, and these, like I said, I promise you, I just updated it like an hour ago. So all that data is new. It's the same stuff you see me have written down on my cheat sheet here. Let's see. 4-game series versus the Cubs. Last shot for the Reds to make. Yeah, they need to sweep. What are they now? 2 games. They won last night. I haven't checked. Let's check on that. Why not do a little sports, right? It's been all about Burrow, and that stinks. Another season, man. Let's see what we got going on with the Reds. Wild card standings. Reds are 2 games back, and they begin that series Thursday. They still have St. Louis tonight. And do they have St. Louis tomorrow, too? Are they coming right home and then playing again a 4-game series? That's pretty rough, but they need to win, the St. Louis series, if not sweep it, and then they need to get at least 3 out of 4 of the Cubs if they're going to have a chance. I mean, they're 2 games out. It's not a lot. Crazier things have happened, but Arizona's on fire. San Diego, who were like neck and neck with us for a minute to try to get that last wild card spot, they're 5 games up now. Eey. All right, back to weather. Sorry, who knows what's going to happen on this stream? There's no rules. We're going to go off the rails all the time. Jeff says, no, don't block me. Keep it up, Jeff. You're on the watch list, Jeff, for blocking, for talking about winter in mid-September. Yeah, the year's flying by. It's definitely not even going to feel like winter, probably for the rest of the month. This is the 8 to 14 days, so this takes us through the rest of September. And again, it's not just us, it is the majority of the country that is going to see another heat dome building back in. So the only thing that could keep us from these above normal temperatures for next week in particular, right, for the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, is going to be a cutoff low. That could help us. We'll see what's happening. It would also help us in the rain chance department. I have updated the rain chances. I pulled the chances up a bit for Monday and Tuesday based specifically on the storm system stalling out. So if we get lucky, that is what we'll see. If we don't, it's going to be a Sunday event, and then it's out of here, and then it looks like we might dry out again. So that's me being a little hopeful and not so bad news, Brad, for you. For the first time in human history. All right, let's pull this up full screen for you so you can see what's going on. Oh, well, I don't know. What do we want to do? How about a cross zoom? 87 outside tomorrow. Warm, cool start. We're back to 63 tomorrow morning. 87 tomorrow. 89 Thursday, and a really nice stretch ahead through the first half of the weekend. If you have any outdoor plans, you're in pretty good shape. Rain chances do ramp up, especially late Sunday. And if we can get this storm system to stall out, become a cutoff low, we could see some better rain chances there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well before we dry out again. I'll have to keep an eye on the temperatures as well into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because there is a chance, if that does become a cutoff low, that day after day of rain could knock the temps down a bit. So we might drop those back into the 70s. We'll see what happens. But for right now, every temperature is 80 degrees plus. Keeping a close eye on the weekend because, it's a huge weekend here. 800,000 people expected for Oktoberfest Cincinnati. Don't forget, you can follow me. I'll have all kinds of fun stuff, I'm sure, happening on my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram pages because I, on Thursday, will be partaking in a barrel race. I'm racing a barrel. I've gotten invited somehow to participate this year in the, I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I don't have it in front of me, but the shortened version is the G Games there for Oktoberfest Thursday evening. If anybody's going to be down there Thursday evening at about 5 o'clock for opening night of Oktoberfest Cincinnati, I think it's taking place somewhere down maybe by the river stage, which is dangerous because I'll tell you, if that barrel gets away from me, it is going in the river. So they better have a look out on that. But I have to push a empty barrel. I think it's empty. Heck, I don't know. It might be full. Barrel of some sort. Back and forth. I'm competing against somebody else, and there's 3 heats, and then it's a championship round. I don't know how it works. Anyway, they also have the Stein races, too, down there Thursday, and you can catch me there. And if you don't, you'll probably catch it on one of these fine social media pages of when I ultimately hurt myself somehow trying to push this barrel around. That is Thursday. I am off Thursday and Friday. So if you don't see me, I'll be alarmed. I'm out enjoying life. If we say Brad is in a barrel, we're not, yes. Yeah. Barrel floating down the river. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see that. That is hopefully not going to happen. But if they put it down by that river stage, that makes me nervous. I saw that might be happening. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think they realize how uncoordinated I am. All right, meteorologist Brad Maushart on Facebook. You can catch me on the Twitter sometimes, or if you want to look at Instagram there. That is probably, I put about 87% chance where you have the best opportunity to see me failing miserably with a barrel at some point. That and Facebook. So, with that, we'll hop back to the 7 to 10 day forecast here, and I will wrap it up and give you guys the rest of your Tuesday back. Enjoy it. It looks really nice out there this evening. Another great night to go enjoy, I don't know, a beverage on the patio, just sit out there and enjoy it. You could certainly watch the Reds game. They're out in Soft Louis. I get to still say it because it's still Red season. Soft Louis. I think they have another game with them tomorrow, too. But the home game, the final 2 home stretches here for the Reds for the regular season, barring any playoff magic. It's a 4-game series with the Cubs Thursday to Sunday and a 3-game series next week with the Pirates Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Only real opportunities I see for any kind of weather mischief for the Reds are going to be Tuesday and Wednesday of next week if that storm system stalls out. So that's something to keep an eye on. All right, enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of your not-so-terrible Tuesday. You know what? Look at this. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up one last thing, just in case you're not from town or you just want to enjoy a little zen here. I'll leave this up for a few seconds after I'm done, but check this out. Nice little sunset happening right now because it's just that time. Looking back at the most beautiful city in the whole wide world, Cincinnati, Ohio. The calm Ohio River, the USS Nightmare there in the foreground, and a nice sun setting over Great American Ballpark and Paycor Stadium and the Taylor Southgate Bridge. Enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.